Les Rougon Macquart is the collective title given to a cycle of 20 novels by French writer Émile Zola. Subtitled Histoire naturelle et sociale d'une famille sous le Second Empire, it follows the lives of the members of the two titular branches of a fictional family living during the Second French Empire and is one of the most prominent works of the French naturalism literary movement. Influences. Early in his life, Zola discovered the work of Honoré copyright de Balzac and his famous cycle La Coma copyright d'Humain. This had a profound impact on Zola, who decided to write his own, unique cycle. However, in 1869, he explained in different copyright rinses entre Balzac et moi, why he would not make the same kind of book as Balzac. In one word, his work wants to be the mirror of the contemporary society. My work, mine, will be something else entirely. The scope will be narrower. I don't want to describe the contemporary society, but a single family, showing how the race is modified by the environment. My big task is to be strictly naturalist, strictly physiologist. As a naturalist writer, Zola was highly interested by science and especially the problem of heredity and evolution. He notably read and mentioned the work of the Dr. Prosper Lucas, Claude Bernard, and Charles Darwin as references for his own work. This led him to think that people are heavily influenced by heredity and their environment. He intended to prove this by showing how these two factors could influence the members of a family. In 1871, in the preface of La Fortune des Rougon, he explained his intent. The great characteristic of the Rougon Macquarts, the group or family which I propose to study, is their ravenous appetite, the great outburst of our age which rushes upon enjoyment. Physiologically, the Rougon Macquarts represent the slow succession of accidents pertaining to the nerves or the blood, which befall a race after the first organic lesion, and, according to environment, determine in each individual member of the race those feelings, desires and passions briefly, all the natural and instinctive manifestations peculiar to humanity whose outcome assumes the conventional name of virtue or vice. Preparations. In a letter to his publisher, Zola stated his goals for the Rougon Macquart: 1. A degree to study in a family the questions of blood and environments. 2. A degree to study the whole Second Empire, from the coup d'etat copyright act to nowadays. Genealogy and heredity since his first goal was to show how heredity can affect the lives of descendants, Zola started working on the Rougon Macquart by drawing the family tree for the Rougon Macquart. Though it was to be modified many times over the years, with some members appearing or disappearing, the original tree shows how Zola planned the whole cycle before writing the first book. The tree provides the name and date of birth of each member, along with certain properties of his heredity and his life. The prepotency is a term used by the Dr. Lucas. It is part of a biological theory that tries to determine how heredity transmits traits through generations. Zola applied this theory to the mental state of his protagonists and uses terms from the work of the Dr. Lucas: election du pari, election de la mari, ma copyright lang souda or inner copyright eta copyright. Physical likeness, whether the member looks like his mother or his father. Biographical information, his job and important facts of his life. Additionally, for members still living at the end of Le Dr. Pascal, their place of living at the end of the cycle may be included. Otherwise, the date of death is included. Note: the gallery does not include the tree made for La Bête Humaine, which included for the first time Jacques, the main protagonist of the book. For example, the entry for Jean Macquart on the 1878 tree read: Jean Macquart, now copyright N 1831, election de la Marie, resemblance physique du Paris. Soldat. The study of the Second Empire . To study the Second Empire, Zola thought of each novel as a novel about a specific aspect of the life in his time. For example, in the list he made in 1872, he intended to make a political novel, a novel about the defeat, a scientific novel, and a novel about the war in Italy. The first three ideas led to Son Excellence Hugo ni Rougon, La Dar copyright bar Saint-Cloud, and Le Dr. Pascal, respectively. However, the last idea would never be made into a book. Indeed, at the beginning, Zola didn't know exactly how many books he would write. In the first letter to his publisher, he mentioned 10 episodes. In 1872, his list included 17 novels, but some of them would never be made, whereas others were to be added later on. In 1877, in the preface of Les Mémoires, he stated that he was going to write about 20 novels. In the end, he settled for 20 books. Story: almost all of the main protagonists for each novel are introduced in the first book, La Fortune de Rougon. The last novel in the cycle, Le Docteur Pascal, contains a lengthy chapter that ties up loose ends from the other novels. In between, there is no best sequence in which to read the novels in the cycle, as they are not in chronological order and indeed are impossible to arrange into such an order. Although some of the novels in the cycle are direct sequels to one another, many of them follow on directly from the last chapters of La Fortune de Rougon, and there is a great deal of chronological overlap between the books. There are numerous recurring characters and several of them make guest appearances in novels centered on other members of the family. The Rougon Macquart The Rougon Macquart family begins with Adèle de Fouque. Born in 1768 in the fictional Provençal section Old Town Plassans to middle-class parents, she has a slight intellectual disability. She marries Rougon, and gives birth to a son, Pierre Rougon. However, she also has a lover, the smuggler Macquart, with whom she has 2 children, Ursule and Antoine Macquart. This means that the family is split in 3 branches. The first, legitimate, one is the Rougons branch. They are the most successful of the children. Most of them live in the upper classes or and have a good education. The second branch is the low-born Macquarts. They are blue-collar workers, farmers, or soldiers. The third branch is the Maurits. They are a mix of the others too. They are middle-class people and tend to live more balanced lives than the others. Because Zola believed that everyone is driven by their heredity, Adelaide's children show signs of their mother's original deficiency. For the Rougon, this manifests as a drive for power, money, and excess in life. For the Macquarts, who live in a difficult environment, it is manifested by alcoholism, prostitution, and homicide. Even the Maurits are marked to a certain degree. In L'Enfant de l'Aube copyright Maurit, the priest Serge Maurit has to fight his desire for a young woman. Aloia Hugo ni Rougon Aloia Maxime Saccard Charles Saccard, 1811 An 1840 1873 1857 1873, AA, Pascal Rougon a 1/4 Clotilde Saccard a son, an 1813 1873 and 1847 1874 AA, Pierre Rougon a 1/4 Aristide Saccard AA Victor Saccard, a 1787 1870 1815 1853 AA, Sidonie Touche copyright Anger copyright Lick Marie, AA 1818 1851 1869, AA Marthe Moret Octave Moret a son and a daughter, 1819 1864 AA 1840 AAA a 1/4 Serge Maurit, AAA 1841 AAA Frana section 1 Maurit AAA Dower copyright Sierra copyright E Maurit, AA 1817 1864 1844 Ada copyright Lord of Fouque a 1/4 Ursule Macquart a 1/4 Ha copyright Lani Rambo a Jean Grandjean, 1768 1873 1791 1839 and 1824 1842 1855, AA Sylvain Maurit, and 1834 1851, Lisa Quenu Pauline Quenu, AA 1827 1863 1852 AA AAO Euro Claude Lantier Euro 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 Jacques Louis Lantier, AAA 1842 Euro 1876 1864 Euro 1876, AAA, AA Euro Antoine Macquart Euro a 1/4 Euro Boves Coupeau Euro a 1/4 Euro Jacques Lantier, 1789 Euro 1873 1829 Euro 1869 1844. Euro 1870, AA, AAO Euro a Permilchen Lantier Euro 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 A daughter, AA 1846 Euro AA, AAA Euro Anna Coupeau Euro 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 Louis Coupeau, an 1852 Euro 1870 1867 Euro 1870, AA Euro Jean Macquart Euro 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 2 children, 1831 Euro. View of France under Napoleon III. As a naturalist, Zola also gave detailed descriptions of urban and rural settings, and different types of businesses. La Vente de Paris, for example, has a detailed description of the central markets in Paris at the time. As a political reflection of life under Napoleon III, the novel La Conquête de Plassans looks at how an ambitious priest infiltrates a small Provence town one family at a time, starting with the Rougons. La Dare copyright bar Saint Clair takes place during the 1870 Franco-Prussian War and depicts Napoleon III's downfall. Son Excellence also looks at political life, and Pot Bouillie and Au Bonheur des Dames look at middle-class life in Paris. Note that Zola wrote the novels after the fall of Napoleon III. List of the novels. In an introduction of his last novel, Le Docteur Pascal, Zola gave a recommended reading order, although it is not required, as each novel stands on its own. English translation. All of the 20 novels have been translated into English under various titles and editions. Many of the translations are, however, out of print or bowdlerized from the 19th and early 20th century. Recent original English translations are available for 16 of the 20 novels. References. External links. The Rougon Macquart novels of Émile Zola provides an American enthusiast's introduction, insights and synopses.